Well, here we are. Review sections, part of our video for today. Let's just go through these questions one at a time. Make sure we're comfortable with material we've recently done, or in some cases not so recently. And here's our first question of the day. And I'll be nice enough to give you the diagram to start it off. Go ahead, you know the drill. Stop and start for each of these questions. Okay, so the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height, which is going to be 14 feet by 8 feet by 4 feet. I crunch all of those numbers, and I get 448 feet cubed. And you're saying to yourself, it can't be this easy. That's just so simple. You're right, it can't. What we're really concerned about is converting the cubic feet to cubic yards. And when you go from cubic feet to cubic yards, you're going from small to big, and whenever you go from small to big, you're going to divide. In this case, the factor is 3. So you think, oh, I'm going to divide by 3, but not exactly. You're going to divide by 3 cubed because the units are being cubed. So 448 divided by 3 cubed, which is 27, is 16.59 yards, or also known as 16 and 16/27 yards cubed. Okay? Now, that's not the only way to do this. We could do, it says 384. It should say 448 times a yard, times a yard, times a yard. And in each case, there's 1 foot in each of the 3 yards. Keep in mind, again, just to emphasize, this was an old number I didn't change, but it should say 448 here. And the feet cubed, die with the feets down there. And that leaves me, when I do the division of, the correct number should be 448, divided by 3 and 3 and 3, same number, 16.59, or 16 and 16/27. Okay. Find the area in square yards of a rectangular room that measures 18 feet by 27 feet. Again, we got to do this feet and yards factor thing going on here. Go ahead, stop and start. Okay, so take a look at what we got here. Got the fact that the area is length times width, so it's 18 by 27, which gives you 486 feet squared, because it's feet times feet. Just like x times x is x squared, feet times feet is feet squared. It wants yards squared, so we got to change that over. Small to big divide. This time we're going to do 486 divided by 9, not 27. The reason why it's 9 is because the yards are only squared, so it's just 3 times 3, which is 9. It's not yards cubed, which will be 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So 486 divided by 9 is 54 square yards. So that's one way to do it, but it is not the only way to do it. You could do 486, and then if I want to convert from feet to yards, I do my conversion. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 yard is 3 feet. I kill off all my feet, the feet squared with the 2 feet on the bottom, and I get 54, because 486 divided by the 3 and the 3, making 9 total, is 54 square yards. But there's yet another way that you could do this, like I'm selling you a product on late night TV. But there's more. 18 feet. Oh, there's the feet go down there. 18 feet is also known as 6 yards, 20, because you divide by 3 right away. 27 feet is known as 9 yards, dividing by 3 right away. So 6 times 9 is 54. Whichever one of those particular techniques you like the most, enjoy them and go with it. Okay, our next review question. Celsius to Fahrenheit. You know how to look up the formula. Go ahead. Okay, so F is equal to 9/5 C plus 32. So, in this case, it wants to convert 35 degrees Celsius, so I put a 35 in for C. 9/5 times 35 is 63. Just check it out. 5 goes into 35 7 times. Times 9 is 63. 63 and 32 makes 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So, it sounds like it's going to be cold. 35 degrees Celsius. Brr. Not a chance. That's 95 Fahrenheit. All right. Again, you can just plug this in the calculator. You just do 9/5, make the fraction, times 35 plus 32. Or you could do 9 divided by 5, which is 1.8 times 35 plus 32. Any way you like to do it. Now, convert 72 Fahrenheit to Celsius. Now you're going to plug the 72 in, not for the C, but for the F, for Fahrenheit. So 72 is 9/5 C plus 32. Subtract 32 from both sides. That gives me 40 is 9/5 C, dividing by the 9/5. And C is 22.222 repeating degrees. That's the Celsius. Okay, so there's your conversions for you using a formula. And now we get a question, you know, nice question, not a killer, but not easy. Go ahead, stop and start. Okay, so this guy talks about volume. What's that formula for volume again? Length times width times height. Good. So, and one day we'll cover this in more detail. I prefer to use the area of the base times the height, but that's another conversation for another day. The length is 8 feet. The width is 3 feet. Now, here's the tricky part, the height. The height they give you is in inches. They say it's 1 inch. I'm not going to work this with inches. I got to work it with feet. I got to keep my unit consistent through the problem. So I change 1 inch to 1/12 of a foot. Then when I multiply it all out, I get 2 feet. Oh, that should say feet cubed. You might think that's a 2. That's really a 3. That's feet cubed. Okay? So now I do, oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's feet cubed. So the weight then is going to be 2 feet cubed times 30, 43 pounds per feet cubed. I just messed up the exponent, sorry. And that gives me 86 pounds total. All right, so that's the end of that video.